Okay, my mom was raised in a little town called Newport, if you know where that is, northern, up the river. And they were poor, but that she went through a lot of trauma in her younger years before before she came to York, or right when she came to York as a young lady, and as a lot of people do. But that trauma that she went through, on the opposite end of that, it gave her personality an extreme amount of empathy and compassion for other people, and I hope to aspire to that if I ever get older. But she had a way of, well, she was a hugger, so if you didn't like it, too bad. And she would hug, and she had, when her and my dad got married, and they were married for 60 years before they passed away, and they passed away 10 weeks apart. So, and that's how come I ended up back here, but that's another story. But they had a foundation of their faith, and when the Bible says about being humble and loving other people and just showing the fruit of the Spirit, that was my mom. I mean, she was very unassuming. She was no theologian, but in her life, she read through the Bible like 43 times. The last time, when I moved back here to take care of her and she was bedridden, she would say, put the tapes in, because she only knew about cassette tapes. She didn't know about all this. She didn't know about DVD or CDs and all that kind of stuff. And one time somebody gave her these, they were cassettes, and they were like the King James version, and they were all like monotone. It was like 10 minutes. I'm like, Mom, we ain't doing this. I love God and I love the Bible, but we ain't doing this. So somebody gave us, it's called the Bible Experience. It is the coolest thing, because it's all like you're listening to a story. Like if it's David out on the hillside with the sheep, you can hear the sheep baaing in the background. And if it's a king, it's, I don't know, one of these, it's all kinds of people. It's the coolest thing. But anyway, she loved that. And then, like she said, I just want to get through it one more time. So when we're starting to get like James and Hebrews and then Revelation, I was like, oh, Lord, please don't let her die after this one. We're kind of like getting into Revelation. It's like, Mom, we're almost done. Do you want me to start it over again? She goes, yeah. Okay, so that was like, took the pressure off for a while. But when she did that, the other thing that she did was she was a person of prayer. And like there were times in my life where, well, she said, there is no such thing as ghosts. They are demons. There is evil and good in this world, and it fights. And that's her worldview for a small, unassuming woman taught me a lot. And so she would be like, I pray for y'all, because I lived in Georgia for 20 years, if you don't know that part. And then I moved back to take care of them, and she said, I pray for you every day. Well, if you met her and you had a bond, you were on her list. And I'll tell you, even up to the last day before she died, you could see her lips moving, and she was still going through that prayer list. Everybody she prayed for, and there were people on that list from all over the world. I mean, there were family, there would be, if you knew her, you were on it, if you didn't, and you could just see, she'd get so frustrated when she couldn't remember other stuff, but that she never forgot. She always did that. And after she died, I could feel it. I could physically feel that loss of protection that from her prayers for me. And so I don't know if I'll ever be able to emulate, as much as she was, but she really did care. When they had Wednesday nights when she was younger over at the church, kids from the city would, the projects weren't there when the church first started, but then the kids would all come, and they would literally line up to get a hug from her because they didn't ever get affection at home. And so at her funeral, we had little Hershey's hugs. And we also had, she said she wanted to have Bibles available for anybody. She would challenge them to at least read it once. You don't have to do it 43 times, just do it at least once and say you read the whole thing before you say it's not true. So we did, and there was like 16 people took up that challenge. And so I just thought that was really cool that she touched the lives of so many people, her and my dad, of just their relationship with each other and their example, and her unassuming way of being, in my eyes, a superhero.